Welcome, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Welcome to Wednesday Night is Overbooked, your little escape from the family before all the awkward conversations happen at the family table tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Let's go around the horn real quick and introduce everyone. To my stage right, we have the Duke Devil, Bradley Burnett. How are you today, sir?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward to at least 24 hours without having to deal with work. That's about it so far.
Gotcha. And to the lower half, to the lower third here, we have the man responsible for that lovely intro that we have, and that is the one and the only LeftEyeEgo. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Me and the Shearer are preparing to host our first Thanksgiving at our house, so y'all pray for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, we are one person short. Matt was in rehab, was supposed to go home today. There was something went awry, and he is back in the ER right now. So, if you have a drink, lift it up. Here's to Matt. Thoughts and prayers, pal. All right. Let's look at the chat first here. Oh, we have one of the founding members of the show here. Ryan said he was first. Well, like that matters. And then we have the Scream Queen, Selena, out here in Las Vegas. She's awesome. Let's go. Her husband also runs a channel, Iron Oxide. We've also got Anna's Game Land here. We love it. Anna here as well. And some guy named LeftEyeEgo here as well. Don't know what that is.
You need to have your parallel mirror universe version and have it its own account.
I should definitely do
Right
that.
Eye Humble.
Right Eye Humble.
I need to do that.
Yeah, Right Eye Humble. And who was the third one? Midway Mark. Is that what it was?
Marcus. Was it Midway Marcus?
Midway Marcus. No,
that's right.
Midline Marcus.
Midline Marcus. There we go. That's it.
That's right. We introduced another one. It's like the three faces of Foley.
If it gets any more, we're gonna have to call him Sybil. So
yeah, we're gonna have to call an ambulance or a doctor for you.
That's fair. 3 should be enough.
All right, so we have got a premium live event this weekend. The second longest running premium live event that the WWE does after WrestleMania. This is the Survivor Series. This will be its 37th Survivor.
38th.
I'm sorry. Yes, the 38th Survivor Series. This will be the third year that it is instituting the War Games match stipulation. And let's see what we got here. Now, speaking of War Games, we're going to talk about this first because a lot of the drama in the WWE in the last week, not even that, less than a week, has come over the War Games teams. Now, Friday on SmackDown, we had Solo Sikoa and his War Games team. We had the Tongans, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. And I'm just going to say the man fit like a glove. Big Bronson Reed fits right in there. Oh, we've also got another wrench in the chat here. We have Dempsey. What's up?
Nice.
So we had Big Bronson Reed, and then Roman, Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay Uso came out with just 4 people, 4 on 5. Roman was prepared to make his final stand, as Solo said, "You can either join my team or the 4 of you will die where you stand." Seems a little grim, but hey, it's family drama here. And then all of a sudden, we heard familiar words we have not heard in a few months. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And said, you can't do War Games 5 versus 4. So it's going to be 5 versus 5. And not that I want to take a victory lap or anything, but I believe last week someone did say that a certain Second City Saint is the logical one to joining Roman Reigns' team.
Well, I guess the only question, though, is do you have the results yet? Did they give you the results yet? Since they gave you the pre-booking, clearly.
No, they don't. I don't get the script. But apparently, this was kind of a big deal. As it says right here, this is from Wrestle Features. The WWE's YouTube upload of Paul Heyman and CM Punk's return to TV in the first 14 hours, 1.8 million views.
Wow.
So seems to say that CM Punk kind of is box office. I've been saying that for some time. And there's also, but when we get one question answered, another one got asked in the form of the women's War Games match.
Oh, no.
Because not only did we have we also started the tournament for the Women's United States Championship. Mm-hmm. So we had the first match, which was Candice LeRae, Chelsea. Oh, this was the second match. Sorry, second match. I believe it was Chelsea Green, someone else, and Bianca Belair.
Blair Davenport.
Okay. Again, she left catering to come out and do a match. They haven't done anything with her in 3 months. I mean, I'm just saying.
Awful.
So all of a sudden, the match is going along and something comes up on the Jumbotron. And what do we have here? Jade Cargill is strewn across the hood of a car, broken glass, and Bianca left, allowing Chelsea to win this match. So apparently she is out of War Games, which will also have her out of the Women's United States tournament as well. So, hey, Real Wade Gaming, how are you, sir?
Welcome, man.
Welcome. So, Ego, I asked that you prepare a eulogy for Miss Jade here, since you have been the most or longest fan of Jade Cargill on this show here.
And quickest turn.
And quickest turn, yes. So can you give us some words? Because we're going to discuss both the addition of CM Punk, what that could be for the future, and Bailey, and who has basically replaced Jade, and what's good this is going to turn out to be. So, and Brad, you were a nipple there for a second.
I know, I just with that.
So, Ego, do you mind giving us a? Do you mind giving us
sorts?
Yes, please, sir.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered for the homegoing of one Jade Cargill. Once imbued with tremendous talent, has fallen short. We don't fall on their mistakes, but we will champion what they actually were here for 5 solid minutes of wrestling. We hope that she will actually find solace and peace, because it will not be with the WWE. I pray that you two will recover from being a Jade Cargill-Astani and saying that she's your boo. And although she has passed on, she may come back in another form. Remember what that looks like. All talent, no heart. We should all take heart and take heed and know that we are bearing this for good. Amen.
Oh God, that was glorious. So,
I really didn't think it would happen. So, I mean, I predicted the end of the year, but wow.
Right. So, On SmackDown, we got a bona fide whodunit.
Oh,
So,
Yes.
do we have any thoughts on who might be this
okay.
culprit of who could
Okay.
do this dastardly deed?
Okay. Obviously, there is such a thing as repeat offenders.
Mhm.
I, based on my previous career, am well aware of the recidivism rate. Has anyone seen Rikishi?
Well, I mean, there was that line of thought, and actually, I believe the Solid Monster asked that same question. So
I
Now-
know who I actually want to do it. I know who I want to have done it. But
now there are thoughts that because of a couple weeks ago during a segment in NXT, the parking lot, which is the most dangerous place on earth,
Yeah.
where Rhea Ripley was attacked, some folks immediately went to Raquel Rodriguez and Liv. Doesn't make a lot of sense. They're on separate shows. And so I don't think that's going to happen. Now, conveniently, someone who was not on the War Games team has been on every previous War Games team on the main roster, is now on that team. That being the role model, Bailey. Personally, I don't see it. Don't see it
I don't.
because she just recently turned face. So
Yeah.
to go back to being a heel,
Yeah.
now somebody has said it could have been Lash Legend because Lash Legend next week or this Friday is taking Jade's spot in the United States Women's Tournament. So that's a possibility. So, but my thought, it's Naomi.
Okay.
Naomi is in desperate need of a fresh coat of paint.
Right.
She's been doing this glow angle for
Too long.
forever,
Yeah.
and I think that a heel turn would be quite interesting, especially if the thought is of bringing Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend to the main roster. Just saying. Any thoughts?
There's who I would want it to be, and there's a way to go about doing it. I'm not gonna lie.
Please elaborate.
I really want my new boo to be the person that does this.
Jordan Grace?
Yes. I don't know how, but that's what I would like. That's what I would like, just because I need to see that match happen. Naomi works, but what I would want for Jade, at least to give her something, is what I said a few months ago. Put her in a faction like the Wyatt Six and say, hey, if you join the Wyatt Six, we'll help you find out who injured you. So it's now a thing where she has to figure out who actually did it, and they can have their match. I would like to be Jordan Grace, but Naomi makes sense. I mean, unless someone comes out and just says it was me that did it, that's kind of like too much McMahon. It was me, Austin. So I'm like, add some mystery to it. Have her join a faction, that way you can shield her from having to do more than she probably should. Get her some redevelopment and build up a story. That's the only thing that I can think of. But Naomi would make sense because she needs some kind of. She needs
according to the injury report, she's going to be out. Like she could be out as long as 3 months.
So that really is all that really is.
Well, the laundry list of injuries I'm going through is like deep lumbar scarring, cervical lacerations.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then they conveniently put it right in the middle, torn right meniscus, and I'm like, oh, there it is.
There it is.
Okay,
that's
what
it is. All right.
Which again, I find that hard to believe because she works 3 minutes a match.
That's why I'm confused. Like, how do you?
That's because she's fragile, probably.
Probably.
Or
there is the possibility that she's just clumsy and tripped on her own feet and fell.
That could have been what happened, legitimately. Although honestly, I would like it to be Bianca. I would like somehow to Bianca to set it up.
That's a good one.
Now,
Because you're an
And then
albatross
like
weighing me down.
and she leaves to like, I don't care about this. I'm gonna, because I don't need this. I don't need this inaugural championship stuff. I'm a champion. I'm a WWE Women's Champion. I'm getting myself back in the ring, and I'm not going to be, you know, hamstrung by this freaking albatross on my neck that can't do jack. I mean, let her get a little heel in her. You know, I mean,
that mic should be easier to do.
Now,
that's a good one.
I think this, and I've heard this from JD from New York and the Solid Monster, and it goes with what I've been saying for some time. If ever there was a time to sunset the women's tag team titles, this is the perfect time to do it.
Yeah,
agreed.
Because you have just introduced two mid-tier titles for the women on both Raw and SmackDown. The focus should be on those titles.
Yep, agreed.
Women's tag team is not working. It has really not worked, and there's enough struggle. There's enough trouble getting the men's to really catch fire. It's not as good as it used to be. So
I actually would have positioned it like, yo, if you want to put that on the NXT, like NXT tag team titles works a lot better. Like to get them to get work as a team, do spots to act and actually do betrayals and actually move up. I'd want that instead.
Interesting, because Solid Monster said that too. You could move the women's tag team down to NXT, because we just saw the return of Gigi Nolan last night to save Tatum Axley. So you could put those two as a team. You've got JC Jane and Jasmine Nix of Fatal Influence. That's a natural team. You got like Carmen Petrovich. You've got Nikita Lyons. Why, I don't know. But you've got talent down there that you could actually reintroduce that title down there and do something. So for the main roster, addition by subtraction.
Agreed.
Backburn the women's tag team titles, because right now they are even more useless than they have ever been.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like the women's Intercontinental, like it got less fanfare than the U.S. Women's Championship. I was like, that's all. Like the Intercontinental should have been a big thing.
Okay, Raw was also a taped show.
Okay,
so a taped show has the crowd noise is a lot less, so they actually pipe in fan noise, and so it just sounds odd.
Okay,
and that was a taped. The Adam Pearce segment to introduce the belt was taped before the show even started.
Oh,
okay.
People were probably trying to find their seats still.
Right. Correct. Correct.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
Now, something else we talked. So let's go back to the men's side. CM Punk, the Second City Saint, has been introduced into War Games. Now, if you were paying attention on social media, you had the brawl, and then you had, hey, Love It. Hello, Love It. How are you, dear?
Hey, welcome.
Good to see you. Another wrench in the chat there. That's a lovely thing. So we've got CM Punk. After the scrum and everything happened, Roman and Punk are in the ring. The Tongans come out, and we get a spear and a GTS at the same time, which looks really fucking cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And then, off mic, Roman says, what are you doing here? And Punk looks over at Paul and says, I'm here to save your ass. Paul gets up on the apron. And Roman's looking around confused because Roman didn't make this call. Paul Heyman made this call. And Roman says something to the effect of, well, don't expect a thank you. And then you can clearly see Punk say, you don't have to. This has nothing to do with me and you. I'm here for him. And then Roman looks at Heyman, looks back at Punk and says, that's my wise man. And then Punk, with that little impish side mouth smirk, says, we'll see. And again,
that's nice.
Long-term booking, because this harkens back to this. We'll show this right here. A moment that we saw, this is from the first SmackDown when Punk came back to the WWE. Turn this up a little bit.
Roman Reigns. Tribal Chief, I acknowledge you. Congratulations on all your success. Don't forget who the OG Paul Heyman guy is.
Oh, hell yeah.
Don't forget that he was my wise man first.
I like this. I really like this. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Always, as I say, how, why, and what's the third thing I always say? What's next?
True. What's next?
Okay. So what comes after Survivor Series? Again, I don't get the script. But
we don't believe you, but keep going.
You mean the PLE or the next PLE or
the script at all? So we've got up until the WrestleMania, the path seems pretty easy to track down. So this will be the second year in a row. I'm sorry, the second Survivor Series in a row where CM Punk steals the thunder of one Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
This is not going to sit well with him. Now, right before CM Punk took time off, basically just saying, I'm not going to Saudi, so he took himself off of TV for a month.
Gotcha. Okay.
He called out the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunther. So, we're going to get that match. Now, whether that's Saturday night's main event, the first Raw on Netflix, we don't know.
The Raw.
I can easily see Seth Rollins getting involved in that match.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
So would that set up WrestleMania?
Which would then set up at the Rumble, with Seth Rollins and Punk both being in the Rumble. One of them eliminates the other, a la Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, where CM Punk plays the part of Stone Cold when everyone's focused on something else and he gets eliminated, just sneaks right back in.
Oh,
this would then cause the match we were supposed to get at WrestleMania 40. Title or not, doesn't matter. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
I think this is the very interesting and kind of the hard part to place Punk in certain things, is because anyone that you could put him with, the match works based on the mic work and the wrestling match you're going to get. So it's like, I would love to see him versus Roman Reigns. I'd love to see him take on Gunther.
Oh,
but Seth Rollins also. It's like there's so many places you can put him. He's like a gadget guy.
Wait, sir.
It's
just wait, sir.
Man.
Just wait, because now Brad will know this term quite well. 2025, we may get a version of a Summer of Punk.
Was it?
Brad's like, oh wait, what? A Summer of Punk?
Go on.
Which could lead to this feud going back and forth, because I don't think this brand split's going to be as hard with Netflix, with Roman Reigns in the first quarter of 2025 is going to be on Raw more than SmackDown. Just laying that out there. What if we get SummerSlam? The first 2-night SummerSlam.
Oh, that's right. It's a 2-night.
Okay.
One of those nights, the main event, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Who does Paul Heyman pick?
Ooh. You really think you can hold off on doing that match for that long?
Oh, yeah.
Easily. Ooh, that's beautiful. Ooh.
I mean, think about it. How long did it take to finally get Drew and Punk in the ring? That was all mic work.
Huh.
Wow. Do we need to throw the Cena wrench in?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
I mean, obviously, there is going to be some nostalgia feeling.
Of course.
Seeing Cena and Punk again. Of
course. That match will happen at some point.
Punk Cena?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I need to look that up.
Because Punk and Cena had probably one of the, Punk Cena inspired the pipe bomb.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Punk left with the damn belt.
Right. And also was where Punk coined the phrase Paul Heyman guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so now
I thought that was shit. Okay.
So he goes now like, whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if Punk stays healthy, because we know Fragile Phil, if he stays healthy, there could be a lot of stuff happening in the next few months, because the thing is he's such a like a lightning rod for a lot of people. And and we know we can perform the mic, and that's these days, honestly, it's more than half the job. Just a build up.
Now it's interesting because a lot of folks, and Matt and I have talked about this, and Matt made a comment last week that Punk is a social cancer. What about Randy Orton? That's still kind of up in the air right now. I know there are plans for him. It really depends on WrestleMania and The Rock. It really depends on that. And he's got the WWE kind of by the balls. Fuck The Rock. I said it.
And his movie's not doing good.
And his movie sucks.
At all.
Either of them. So, where was it? Oh, so Punk has been called a cancer. He's been disruptive in locker rooms. This is true. Ring of Honor, and notably in AEW. And as I said, he put his hands on someone he worked with. At that point, you have to be fired. So now the conditions that led to that's Tony Khan's fault.
Okay.
But CM Punk, ever since he has been back with the WWE, he initially signed a 3-year deal.
Okay.
6 months in,
boom,
they approached him to extend it to 5. Paul Levesque has said he has been a godsend. Whenever, because Punk knows this is his last stop. If he screws up here, there's not a promotion that's going to take him in the world. It's not going to happen.
It's not like he's going to get a TNA or something, for God's sake.
No, definitely not. And they wouldn't take him either.
Yeah.
So
that bad.
This is Punk.
They couldn't pay him either.
Punk is going to end his career with the WWE for good or ill. But ever since his return, he and Paul Levesque, who during the pipe bomb, Punk called him a doofus. They have buried the hatchet, as on the Ariel Helwani interview. He said that the stuff that we argued about over a decade ago was just stupid. So they both laughed at it. Punk has been very much involved in creative and even more development. Whenever the WWE has their massive premium live events, they will sometimes in that local area have NXT tryouts.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels is there to evaluate. Guess who's next to him, standing shoulder to shoulder?
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
CM.
wow.
It's
He's-
CM Punk.
He's been at the
Ooh.
developmental center a good bit when he was off getting
Wow.
rehab, right?
Well, there is that. But if Punk is not at a show, a press event, or he's at home, he's in Orlando at the Performance Center working
Wow.
with the talent. Most
Wow.
notably of late to get them ready for their main roster call up is Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
I mean, talk about just a wealth of knowledge
Wow.
to draw from.
Man.
So Punk has been very involved in the development of the WWE. So in my opinion, Punk is here to make my money for him, the company, and who's ever in a program with him.
Hmm.
Secondly, he is here to right the wrongs of the past, just to wipe that slate clean.
Mhm.
He's here to create memories for WWE fans. And he's here to help the future of the WWE.
I think one thing he probably likes more is actually having someone that will listen to a wrestler as
Yeah.
opposed to having someone who's very picky about who he would listen to and then suddenly on day of wrestling change it, if not an hour before.
Agreed.
So I think as a booker, overall creative for the show, Triple H is a far more wrestler friendly creative than the previous occupant of that seat.
And
Feel very valued. Yeah.
and also the previous company too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true.
True. Wow.
It's just so funny that you look at the two guys who are really heading creative now, and they were the quote unquote pain in the asses back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You make the rules, we break them. Oh, we make the rules now.
Right, exactly. Crap. So just a little side note here before we go further. This came across me today, and I wanted to just throw it out here. This is interesting because this will also tie into war games and predictions. Saturday night's main event, Liv Morgan will be challenged by number one contender Io Sky. Just thought that was interesting.
Ooh.
Now, I do love me some Io Sky. So,
it may be time.
you know what? I would not be mad at that at all.
It is time.
We can go. We're going to go into that in a second because right now we're going to go into predictions for Survivor Series. So this is the full card here.
Excuse me.
So we're going to look at the non-war games matches here. So we're going to look at this was announced on Monday, and that is the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship: Braun Breaker, the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. Brad, your thoughts?
I watched your video this morning.
Mhm.
I agree.
Okay.
There's no reason to take it off Braun Breaker right now.
Correct.
And it would take too much away from Sheamus. Ludwig is a solid performer, but he's not yet ready to be at that level. So I think you're right. I think Breaker retains by pinning Kaiser.
Correct. I agree.
I'm agreeing with you. You're
Yes.
agreeing with me.
Yes.
I guess the thing that sucks is, again, there was no point, even though I called, there was no point in giving Jey Uso the belt if he was going to drop it a few weeks later to Braun Breaker. So
No, this is the way you're wrong, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
You put the belt on to Jay.
Mhm.
Okay. What caused Jay to drop the belt? Interference from
Interference.
Solo
Okay,
and
that's what it
Jacob
was.
Mhm.
Fatu.
That's I forgot. That's all right. So yeah, I guess to push the storyline, it works to cause him to lose the
It's
belt.
all storyline. Everything,
forgot
and
that part.
it's all
That's-
bloodline storyline.
That's the one thing I forgot. So yeah, so that changes it. I mean, it's just
Because
you can't.
Jay
Go ahead.
needed the push to go back.
He did. Yeah.
Because remember,
that's
he
what
was
it
like, I don't want to go back. Screw
I
Roman.
forgot.
He needed something. So
Yeah.
that's the storyline that's being
Yeah.
woven.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that kind of makes it heartfelt is the fact that I don't think Sheamus has won the IC belt yet. Of
He
all the
has
titles
not.
he has. So it's like
He has
it
not.
kind
Really?
of pulls the
Wow.
heartstrings that you think he will, but I mean, I don't see playing hot potato with the IC belt. So I mean, I just think that Braun Breaker pins Ludwig and retains.
Okay.
I thi-
Now,
I have
You
one
can
more
s-
question on it before we're done with it. But go
okay,
ahead.
so my thought is this. Again, Kaiser is there to take the pin.
yeah.
That's what he's there for. You're going to protect Sheamus because eventually Sheamus is going to get
Yeah.
the Intercontinental Championship. Whether it is at Mania and he beats Brett Baker and gets the WrestleMania moment, or he walks into Mania as the IC champion. And then you feed Goldberg to Braun for his retirement match,
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
and just have Braun just beat the brakes off him. So, Brad, you had another question.
Yeah, just generally as to Braun Breaker, it semes like they're kind of lessening his power a little bit. Maybe
Well,
this
he's
is just
okay. They don't necessarily have him booked as a bad guy. They also don't necessarily have him booked as a good guy. He is in that in between phase. So you've got
Yeah.
the heel Kaiser, babyface Sheamus, and I'm sorry, but that spot he took with the announce table last night. Oh dear God!
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
lot.
oh, he broke himself in half.
I just
Yeah.
think that before we had, Sheik Bronson Reed, I feel like Braun Breaker was kind of that role, that he was the impossible force. Like he was blowing through everything.
Mhm.
And I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
they had to lessen his power to pump up Bronson Reed. So that's where I'm just like,
Yeah.
I see like him becoming more and more of a regular wrestler, just like a solid, workhorse, powerhouse, but
Right.
not the unstoppable object.
Destructible. Yeah.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
get tired of the unstoppable monster. It's a trope that's been in wrestling forever, and it only lasts for so long. I mean, when the Wyatts came out, they were unstoppable, and then they showed up with the final estimate, and they got their ass handed to them. So they are human.
Yeah, that you can't do it all the time. You have to really.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have a match that Mr. Brad, if you would like to take a victory lap here, you kind of called this one here
Mhm.
for the United States title. We got the champion, LA Knight, yeah, versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Sith Lord Shinsuke.
Yep. I'd say we go with it. I said it last week. I say we keep going with it. I saw, like I said, I watched your video this morning, and you were 50-50 on it.
Yeah, I am.
And you said this is one you can't predict, and I kind of agree with you. But I just don't feel like, I don't think it's time for Shinsuke. I mean, literally, he just came back. To give him the belt just seems too rushed.
Okay.
I think you're going to get a good match.
Great match.
But I think LA Knight's going to retain. I almost want to say, it's by DQ.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's fair.
So-
Because
some-
Shinsuke attacked us via other people, right?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's a way to go to build up more of a
Yeah.
rivalry for something. This is a fight that's at the beginning stage. It's kind of, we just slapped it together because they got attacked last week. We need to fill a spot.
2 weeks ago.
If it wants to be
2 weeks
something,
ago.
that's right, 2 weeks ago.
Two people, yeah.
Yeah. But if you want to make it something significant where the title change means something, then you got to build it up more than just a spot 2 weeks ago.
Ego thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I do think Shinsuke attacked 2 people, so I mean, I would think that they'd have some involvement, and it would cause LA Knight to retain. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, like you're right. He just came back a few weeks ago to put the belt on immediately with Team Rush, even though LA Knight's had the belt 5 months at this point. 5 months.
He won the belt. LA Knight won the belt at SummerSlam. That was August.
Oh yeah, it's way too early to have a title switch hands now. So
I disagree.
Go on, sir.
I disagree. Because in the short time LA Knight has had the United States title, he's burned through the mid card of SmackDown.
Okay.
I mean, okay, if LA Knight wins this match and wins it clean, this feud's over. It's done. There's no point.
Okay.
So if you want this to go on, there's nothing wrong with putting the title on Shinsuke for a brief time to like the Rumble or something.
Okay.
And let LA Knight chase again, because he's a lot more fun. Baby faces are more fun when they're chasing titles.
Yeah, okay.
So I am not confident about this at all, but I would be pleasantly surprised if they put the belt on Shinsuke.
Okay.
And now the only other non-War Games match is the Ring General Gunther, or as he's been booked of late, the Ring Bitch of late, versus Damian Priest. Now, Brad, you already saw my video, so we'll go with Ego first.
I still think Gunther's going to retain. I think he wins it clean over
Damian Priest.
Priest, yeah. I just think it's going to be. I've seen enough. To me, I know he's done a lot more to be more. Not present isn't the word, but he's kind of shaking off the bisexual Undertaker.
Thank God.
Kind of thing going.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's
which was never a thing. Which was never a thing. Never a thing. Never a thing. If someone's still listening out there,
I'll just say for me, it's like I don't see enough for Damian Priest to have to actually win over Gunther. So I say Gunther retains. Just on that, it's clean.
Okay, Brad.
Yeah, I think Gunther gets his mojo back.
Yeah.
He shakes off the doubts he's had, and it's a good, solid, clean win after a hard-fought battle. I will say that the bisexual Undertaker joke, whatever it was, Damian Priest's gimmick was not working. I think he's actually, kind of gotten back to just kind of look like being a badass.
Right.
He's not got all this frill and stuff to him. You see him walk out. His clothing is honestly more like old Undertaker in a way. Yeah. And he looks good. He looks built and good. And
has been doing some really good work of late. His in-ring mic work still needs work. He is much better in backstage segments. I guess it's maybe a stage fright thing. I don't know, but his backstage work and his in-ring work, it's night and day. But yeah, Damian gets his rematch, but the outcome is the same. Gunther
pretty much
retains. Now we come to War Games. The match that's probably going to open the show will be the women's War Games match. So we got the Mean Girls, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae versus Bat Rhea in her black face mask now.
Bat Rhea.
I just want Liv Morgan. Stupid.
Where's Liv Morgan?
So you got Rhea, Bianca, Io Sky, Naomi, and now Bayley. The women's team is an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Because A, Rhea and B have beef. just over being just as on Raw, B was like, okay, who should we get for our fifth man? And Rhea's like, I just care about Liv Morgan. I don't care about a fifth. And B is like, good leadership. Good on you, boo. And so the Bailey a week before was telling Naomi that don't trust Io because Io kicked Bailey out of Damage Control. But now, since Bailey's probably going to be the fifth person, Bailey made Bianca's life a living hell for almost 2 years because of Damage Control. I mean, you need a scorecard to keep all the...
It's a lot, factions and beefs together.
So my thought is this. I think there's going to be too much distrust and agendas for the women, for the good girls here. It's going to cause just enough for the mean girls to win and the baby faces on the women's side have won the last 2 main roster war games. So it's time for the heels to get a win. And I hope it ends with Liv Morgan pinning Rhea Ripley again to drive just another nail into this corpse of a feud. Bradley.
Okay, first off, the elephant in the room, there will not be a cash-in.
No,
I don't think there's going to be a cash-in.
I don't believe so.
I agree. I think that the mean girls win, but I would like to see, because I feel like they can't quit this freaking feud. I would like to see Rhea Ripley break Liv Morgan's jaw, so then she has to have a mask on.
So she talks like this. So we have Bat Rhea versus Bay Liv for the battle to end it all.
Oh my God! If you do that, you actually take away Liv's best thing.
I know her face. Her face.
Right.
Oh wait, I forgot her ass is okay too. So
in Minecraft.
Sorry.
She does squats.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, but this has to end. I don't know how it's gonna end. I feel like I don't think this does it though. I don't think it does it because it has to be the two of them. And honestly, you know what? Just have Tiffany go steal the damn belt from Liv.
Maybe. Who knows?
Might as well.
Okay. Ego, your thoughts?
I do think the Mean Girls are going to win this one. It sounds incredibly chaotic to me to figure out how it happens. The only thing I can think of is just like, hey, either Bianca or Bailey eats a pin. That's the only thing that I can think of. I don't know how, but I can't think of anyone else.
Gotcha.
That's the only reason why it just seems incredibly chaotic. The spots are going to be great.
This is good.
Spots are going to be great.
This match is going to be great.
Yeah, I can't place who's going to wind up eating this pin. That's just off the top of my head. The only thing I can think of, but it's going to be a great match, though.
Yeah, especially now that what's her name isn't there anymore, Jade
Reyes. Yeah, because that was going to be hard to hide.
And so now the final one, which will be the main event. Bloodline versus Bloodline. Dear God in heaven, Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed in a double steel cage at the same time, working for the same team. Oh, dear God in heaven, that's going to feed families.
Put them against each other. Put them hell in a cell. Oh, my God.
That's what I want.
Okay, so, Brad, your thoughts? Again, you watched
Yeah, and if I recall correctly, you're predicting OG Bloodline, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I'm kind of leaning that way as well because the last time Roman lost, right? If I recall correctly. So I think they got to pick it up. But the question is, what happens next? So I feel like, yes, that's going to happen. But are we going to have the final boss appear? Because this could we could be getting another setup for what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Because the bottom line is Rock is going to be at WrestleMania. Yes. Whether it's versus him and Roman or something else. Which is
weird. This is the only PLE this year Cody Rhodes is not scheduled to be on.
Did not think about that. Wow.
I just realized it looking at it.
Wow.
Maybe he's like taking time off for Turkey Day or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
I think he's earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brad is leaning toward the OG bloodline. Ego, your thought?
I'm gonna go with OG Bloodline just because I haven't seen them get an actual win in like 2 or 3 months.
Right.
I mean, I know they've just really formed it, but yeah, they need a win, so I think it's where they do it. I just don't know what happens to, I guess, the new Bloodline after that. Do they go dark for a few months and then ramp up for WrestleMania,
or this is all part of the plan? Maybe this is where The Rock is revealed as he's been the one pulling the strings.
All the strings, yeah.
So it is possible. Now, there's an interesting stat that I came across, just my own sick little research. As everyone, the commentators will always talk about experience within certain types of matches. Well, we have four teams in Warrior Games. Do you want to know who has the least Warrior Games experience and who has the most, as far as a team goes?
Teams or individuals?
Teams.
I'm going to say OG Bloodline has the least.
You would be wrong, sir.
Wow.
But
wow. Okay.
you are in the right match. Solo's Bloodline has the least experience.
Okay.
Because Bronson Reed, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
This will all be their first.
Yeah.
This will all be their first War Games match. Jacob Solo has been in one previously, so total for Solo's Bloodline will be 6 War Games.
Okay.
Do you want to know who is next? Take a guess.
Is it the Good Girls?
No, it is the Bad Girls.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
The Bad Girls. Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. This is all their first.
Right.
Huh.
Raquel and Candice did 2 in NXT, and this will be their third each.
Oh, I forgot.
Wow.
NXT War Games.
Okay. The War Games match has been a WWE thing for 6 years. So this will be the 6th War Games match.
Okay.
So now
But it wasn't always in Survivor Series.
Correct.
It first appeared back on NXT, right?
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
So that leaves 2 teams left. Of the 2, they're the Good Girls and the Good Guys. Who has the least experience of those 2 teams?
Good guys.
Yeah, I think the Good Guys.
Yeah.
Ego, you are correct. The only one who has not been in a War Games match is CM Punk.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Roman and Jimmy Uso. This will be their second.
Okay.
Sami Zayn and Jey Uso have been now in every War Games match on the main roster.
Wow.
So for a total of 11 War Games matches, which leaves the babyface women with, get this, a total of 18 War Games matches.
Damn.
And there's been 4 on the main roster?
3 on the main roster, 3 in NXT. Let me give you
okay. Oh, yeah.
Let me give you the rundown. Naomi, this is her first.
Okay.
The Bailey, this is her third.
Can I bet who has the most?
Just a second.
I think I know.
Bianca and Rhea have both. This will both be their 4th.
Oh.
Which leaves Io Sky has been in every single War Games match. This will be her 6th.
So she did 2 in
3 in NXT. And
Okay.
she's been in the previous 2 on the main roster. This will be her 6th.
I thought it was going to be Rio from NXT, but I guess she was gone by that point.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. So
Almost like that young girl has the experience maybe to take a belt some Saturday night.
well, I mean,
Perhaps.
I'm looking at. So I was looking at EO the other day, just at her, not just looking at her, but her career as far as the WWE goes. So they talk about the Grand Slam champion, the belt on Raw, the belt on SmackDown, NXT, and a tag team. Well, EO has won the WWE Women's Championship. She's been a 2-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. She's been an NXT Women's Tag Team Champion when they still had it. She's been the NXT Women's Champion. They put the belt on EO, the Women's World Championship. She will be the only one to have held all 5 major titles.
Damn. That's elite company.
And she's also been a Money in the Bank winner as well. Io Sky is quietly the MVP of the WWE.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Amen. So yeah, so we got that going. She's something special there. So before we move on into our tradition here, which is the top 5, I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat, everyone who's watching and lurking. You guys are great. Be sure to check out all the links down below, especially Matt down there below as he's in the hospital. Definitely give them all the subs.
Yeah.
Look up on their social medias.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Or Harley will have a fit. So we got that out of the way. So now we're going to move into our top 5. And the category is top 5 tag teams of all time. So for our number 5, Brad, we're going to start with you, sir.
Yeah, hold on. I'm actually looking at my list. I had to reconstruct my list because what I typed out I could not find. So I had to reconstruct my list.
So should we start with
real quick.
Ego first. All right, Ego, you're up.
All right. First up, so I'm gonna let you guys know I contextualize all these tag teams in the context of high school. All right. The best way I could frame this in my mind.
Okay.
So I've got my top 5. Starting at 5 is the Rockers. These are the buddies that you always saw together. Didn't matter what they were doing or how popular they were always together. Even though they didn't win tag team gold, I still got them as one of my top 5. How the hell did I miss that? Jesus Christ. Wrong team. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I frame them as the 2 buddies. It's like, hey, you know where one is, you know where the other is. So they were the guys that didn't matter what it was, they were always together. So I've framed them in that for my top 5.
Okay. So Brad, your top 5.
So when I look at this, I'm looking at it not just in like championships held, because there are some guys who have a ton of them. And I took it entirely from WWE.
Correct.
Not because honestly, that actually knocked out some of the players who came in who had much better careers before the WWE, specifically
Legion of
Doom.
Right.
They're not on my list.
No,
they're not on my list.
Okay.
Nope.
Wow.
So when I got down to it, I really found it's interesting. All my stuff really starts from like the mid 90s onwards.
Matt, thank you. Tips there yet, Matt?
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
So I'm gonna go with my number 5 is gonna be oh wait, which one am I doing? I'm gonna go the Usos.
Usos, okay.
I'm going the Usos.
Okay.
I mean, of most recent, they have a ton of title reigns. They were a solid team, and they worked so well together. And you also have to watch, like I said, you have to watch their mic work, because I think that's very important in a tag team. And that's what makes it click, which ultimately is why I have a certain number one as a number one, which maybe y'all won't agree with.
Maybe.
That's fair. Okay.
But I mean, I have always said ever since. Okay, I will take a look at that then, Dempsey. Thank you very much. I will look at that. That's why I said, the Usos, when Jay went solo and became just Yeet, I'm like, your promo skills went down when you were Uso Penitentiary.
Yeah.
You guys were
It's very important how the tag team plays off each other. That's more difficult sometimes, I think, than one-on-one with someone.
Right. So my number 5, since our worst tag team of all time was from the women's tag teams, that being the Bianca and Jade, I thought we should at least give the women some love on this, at least in here. So my number 5 is Damage Control, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Now, I knew of them because I had watched some NXT, but the majority of your WWE fans don't watch NXT.
Right.
So what Damage Control did is it brought Io Sky and Dakota Kai to a whole new set of eyes who were like, oh, these girls are awesome. So, and they were a 2-time champion, so I got no problem with that. And it's Io Sky. I'm being a mark right now. And
Say less.
That's fine. Okay. Ego, you're number 4.
All right. At number 4, I've got the classic class clowns in the New Age Outlaws. This worked so well because you had the guy that.
Oh, you didn't know?
The only time I tried cursing was during their promos. But it worked so well. It was the guy that would make jokes and the guy that was really conceited, and they worked well as a pair. I think part of why DX was so popular was because they had their own thing with the promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Like that whole setup they had going for it.
Generation X proudly brings you its 5-time tag team
champions
of the world.
The Road Dogg Jesse James. The badass. The new age outlaws.
Yeah, it's like it's a running thing that they could actually just hold the mic out. Everyone else would say it. Even when they weren't tag team champions, and they would say it's soon to be tag team champions, you believe that there was an absolute legitimate shot. So I love the way that they worked well together, even when they didn't have the tag team titles. It was just they had a synergistic effect, and I think that's partly why DX lasted a little bit longer than it should have at certain points, because they had them to kind of carry them on with tag team titles when they had them.
I always likened the New Age Outlaws to the cartoon of the Bulldog and the Chihuahua.
Oh.
Road Dogg was the little yippee Chihuahua, and Gun was
yipping and yapping,
and Gun was the muscle old dog who didn't say much.
Oh, that's very true. That's a good one.
All right, Brad.
All right. Again, I'm in a work in progress because I'm rethinking stuff in my mind and things are coming to me. I'm actually going to go with the Hardy Boys next.
Okay.
I like it.
Legitimate, phenomenal performance in ring. Innovators on style. They brought danger. The reason I don't have them higher, honestly, and I still think like they're still the standard of high flyer tag teams, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even better than the Rockers. But I always thought that as a team, they didn't really do. None of the promos stuck out to me. Nothing to me. No. That's why I put them where they are. So skill wise and number of championships and the reigns and their their matches. That's why I put them there. But the mic skills, again, I have to focus on the totality of it.
Right.
Okay, that works.
So Brad, you and I were close. You had Usos at 5. I have the Usos at 4.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Just when you're a tag team and the continuity, how fluid you work together, the fact that they are brothers just accentuates this, and you can really tell that no offense, but when you see but you watch Jay working as a singles, but then you see him with his brother, but then you see him with his brother. His moveset is designed for tag team wrestling. His moves have a lot more impact when they're with someone else. So, and again, it was like over 600 days that they were the tag team champions. They're the longest reigning WWE tag team champions. So they have to be on the list, whether you like them or not. I'm just saying. Okay. Ego, you're number 3.
All right. So I'm putting this as the jock and the dork. They get paired on a class project together.
Don't do it.
It's a Rock and Sock connection. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh wow. Oh no! Did we lose him? I wonder what happened. That's so odd.
There's a reason I'm saying it. Again, I put it in the context of high school, so it makes sense. In terms of the movies, it's like My Fair Lady, She's All That, Roxanne, and shit, I think they did He's All That, whatever. It's
Cyrano
like
de Bergerac.
Cyrano de Bergerac. They did Roxanne was the
Steve Martin version.
Yeah. Or Class Act. I don't know if y'all said that. Kid and Play. Wrong crowd. It's like
I know Kid and Play.
Okay, the jock can't pass unless the nerd helps him, but the nerd has 0 social skills. So he's like, if you're going to be around me, I'm at least trying to get your social skills up. And shenanigans and hijinks ensue. Putting the titles on them was, not necessary, but hilarious. So it worked with that kind of pairing. Again, that's why I put it, because that's the only way I can frame this in my mind is it's the unlikely pairing that we were forced to do. And it's like, okay, it kind of works, but at a certain point, it's going to run its course. That's why I got them 3. You knew this was going to happen, dude.
All right, Brad, you're number 3.
Oh, I'm going with the Dudley Boys.
Oh, nice one.
So again, looking at, the level of accomplishment. First off, they did a great transition because they were like ECW badasses. Right. And the fact that they were able to continue their gimmick and make it go over with a WWE crowd. I mean, that was partially, due to the fact of the time they came in.
Right.
But as we're the Hardys, we're the high flyers, these guys were the rough and tumblers. They were the kick your ass, and they were also good on the mic. They got people into more than the Hardys did. So that's why, and it's like, Devon, get the Devon. It just
So in this case, this is where you can be reduced to a catchphrase, and it works.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Same thing though as the New Age Outlaws. When they started at the beginning, your 5-time tag team champ. That's when it worked because they got the gimmick over so much that they almost didn't have to do it. That became the Dudleys. The Dudleys were synonymous with tables.
Yes.
I mean, and also they put Mae Young through a table.
I mean, okay. So it got to a point to where he would slap Devon on the. He didn't have to say anything. The crowd
everyone did.
Yeah.
And the other thing though is it didn't get old.
No, it did not. No.
Nope.
Very true.
So you had the Hardys, Brad, at your number 4. I have them at my number 3. So we're right in the same ball. We're in the ballpark here. It's a doggy. Or it's his wife. I have no idea. Maybe
that's not how we play things around here.
Okay. So the Hardy Boys.
Okay.
Yes, we talked we talked a few weeks about the Shawn Michaels ladder match.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the Hardy Boys redefined
Yes.
what the ladder
Mhm.
match is.
Yes. Yes.
And this was just something special. And yes, it's from the Attitude Era, an era that I criticize correctly.
It's fair.
Correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of the best things. Their promo work sucked. They were not good. They were not good.
Nope.
On the mic.
Fair.
At all.
Fair point.
But
That was better alone.
But what they did in the ring just was because I didn't care what they had to say. And just TLC too. I'm just going to say that right there.
Their ring work was their promo work.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So now we're at our number 2. Oh dear God, I am just waiting to hear this.
Who else did The Rock team up with?
Right?
Well, it's interesting you say that. No, I'm joking. No,
don't you dare.
You're about to boot the shit out of me from this one. No. I actually got the Dudley Boys on this one for number 2. Those are them slow kids that you're not supposed to mess with. All right.
Wow.
I mean,
that's a good. That's a legit description.
Exactly, because you're like, damn, you let them slow kids put you through a table. You'd be like, you didn't see what I saw. I mean, they would let you know what the stakes were with the tables. I think that I think they redefined the use of the table. I used to thought it was a cheap gimmick, but I mean, the fact that they would just say, get the tables, and you would be like, you know what? I too want to see who's going to get put through a table. The spots that they would do were fantastic, and they were actually bruisers that were agile enough to pull off those spots. Their 3D tag team move, like I haven't seen one that smooth. That is very smooth. And it's like
Deadly Death Drop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's like, well, hey, it's the fact that on the wrestler, I'm not a wrestler, but it looks like it doesn't necessarily hurt, but it looks devastating to do. Right. And you don't have to use a table to do it, so you're not beholden to it. So it's like putting the belts on them when they did, you're like, wow, these are great bruisers. So like I have to give them props. And like the camo fatigues outfits they were awesome too. So it was fantastic.
And that promo picture they did with Stacy Keibler didn't hurt either.
Didn't hurt at all.
Now it's interesting you mentioned the 3D because the Usos have adopted that move, and they have called it the one and done, the 1D.
I like that. That's awesome. Okay, that's awesome.
All right. So Brad, your number 2 is
my number 2 is a team that took a gimmick they were saddled with and turned it into something incredible. Now they're gone. Well, they will be very soon. The New Day.
The New Day.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what was the number of times they held the belt? I don't remember. I mean, they had the Freebird rule, of course.
Right.
But think about it. It's like Vince gave them a shitty ass gimmick and they got it over, and they were all legit good in the ring. And again, this is where not just the ring skills are complimented, but the promo skills. People were excited to see what they were going to do. It's silly ass kid shit, but like coming out of a Bootios box, that's ridiculous. But like people were eating it up. That's getting over with the crowd, and not only to get over on the promos, you get over on your ring work. So I mean,
and as I said, this was a shitty gimmick, but they were like, okay, like you said, we're gonna make this work. So Kofi Kingston is not great on the mic. Xavier Woods is. Xavier Woods at the time was not great in ring. Kofi Kingston is. Big E is the combo of both, and just his facial expressions and his antics just sold it even more. So yeah,
very true. That's a great one, man.
So my number 2, we're going back to the rock and wrestling era.
Oh, okay.
where we had some legitimate wrestlers, especially in the tag team division, not so much in the singles. You had the brother and all the bombast. You had a team that quietly was one of the best in-ring workers bell to bell. Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, the Brain Busters.
Wow, that's a callback.
Yep.
Well done. Okay.
So these guys came over from the NWA, the AWA. They were both original members of the Four Horsemen with Ole Anderson and some guy named Ric Flair. Maybe be.
I know his daughter. His daughter's famous, right?
Yeah, and she also sucks. She also sucks too. I'm just saying. And then you've got just an homage to Arn and just how good he was. His spine buster has been copied over and over and over and over and over again. It's an off the ropes, high hips, 180 turn, and falling down. It is a beautiful. It is the best spine buster ever. And so, just the in-ring work, and they didn't need a mouthpiece because they had Bobby the Brain Heenan with them.
Very true.
So worked very, very well. So I just, from an in-ring perspective, they were freaking amazing. Okay, Ego, you're number one.
All right, my number one is the original Goths. That is the Hardy Boys. Didn't think there would be any thought on this. I kind of liken them also to like a circus act, a high flying, death defying type of deal, where like I think Bradley said, their talking was in the ring, and it wasn't just their ability to do a swanton bomb off of the third or fourth leg from the top of a ladder onto a table. It's that they could sell the fuck out of moves that were done on them. Like, I still to this day remember Edge spearing the shit out of Jeff Hardy. Oh my God. Into the table. I don't know how.
Chairs too. Tables.
Yeah. They redefined, they put all three together. You were like, here's a ladder that we would use. Here's a table. We're going to throw some fucking chairs and call it a match. And it's just all the spots they could pull off with Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys. I'm not sure if they did the AP, Acolyte Protection Agency, at that point or not. I don't think so. No, because they're the Breezers.
They couldn't do that.
Yeah, but I mean, between the Dudley Boys and Edge and Christian, like those triple threat TLC matches were a thing of beauty. It's just in that spot that Edge spear Jeff Hardy took it to another level. I do think it sucks that we didn't get to learn Matt Hardy's work until Ring of Honor when he did the whole broken gimmick, and when he came back, he was woken. I think if they had more time to figure out their own mic skills, we would have seen what they could really do. Them doing that whole Edge, Lita, Matt Hardy thing didn't help. But I mean, for me, like, I don't remember shit they said, but I remember almost everything that they could do in the ring. That stands out the most to me. That's why I got number one.
My only take on the Hardy Boys and why I did not rank them higher. There's so much of their stuff outside the ring that is just a negative.
Okay. I gotcha. I see what you mean. Yeah, it sucks. They definitely should have had more times than they did, and they should have been around a little bit longer. I understand.
Personal issues.
A lot. I gotcha.
Demons is a better way to say it.
Yes. And Matt's wife. Keep her off of social media, please. Okay. Bradley.
Yeah.
You're number one.
Well, this is going to be obvious, and I'm kind of shocked that Ego said referring to the Hardys as goth, because let's take 5 seconds for those with flash photography to enjoy the true goths.
You and Edge and Christian?
They're on here.
Wow.
Edge and Christian.
Okay.
So the reason, and again, I was putting together everything. These two brothers, not blood brothers, but literally, they're brothers in the sense that they grew up together. They want to do this together. This is a dream together. And these two kids made their dream come. Kids are they're our age. Joker, Jesus Christ. Edge is our age. But these two guys, their dream was to do this. I remember you see Edge talking about going to watch WrestleMania and everything, and then they came up together, got to wrestle together, and they put on. You can't even say banger matches is not enough to describe what they did with the Hardys and the Dudleys. And the reason I put them above them all is, again, the mic work.
That's fair.
They were able to get over his heels, but when they were funny, holy hell, they had the whole crowd with them. And they even took it beyond that. They were able to take it to become singles champions.
Yeah.
But them together, Edge and Christian together as a tag team, was just magic. And they worked at each other, not just in the ring, but on the mic. It was pure synergy.
Okay. I got you.
My number one, again, I'm going back to the rock and wrestling days. The Pink and Black Attack.
I almost did it.
Ooh, yeah,
The Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
Well done.
Just the absolute perfection. You have Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who was like the anchor of the team, like literally an anchor. He got his name from going to Scottish games and setting records throwing anvils. That's how he got his name.
Literally, okay.
And then you've got the Hitman, the excellence of execution, which we did, which just watching him as a tag team, you could see where the technical expertise was coming from. And their finishing move, the Heart Attack, is just a thing of beauty to watch. And it's just led to so many other things past this thing. So you've got Jim, who married Brett's sister. We got Natalia. You've got Brett, another one of Brett's sisters married a Davy Boy Smith. So you've got the British Bulldogs in here. You got Tyson Kidd is married to Natty.
Yeah.
So you've got all of this again. These families that just coexist within the world of wrestling.
Out of the dungeon,
out of this program that Stu Hart made to make the best technical wrestlers there is.
I'd watch a documentary on that. Okay.
There are them.
Oh wow.
There's a few. So for me, the Hart Foundation is just the best tag team that I've ever seen. And I was lucky enough to see them live once. So yeah. So
honestly, I was really close to putting the Hearts in there, but for how I was measuring it, their mic work just wasn't what I needed.
Right. It was
of a different time.
Right. Where the bombast was the mic work.
Okay.
And it's the bombast, and you got the blue screen with your logo behind you.
Yeah, but when you're saying it like, excellent as execution, and then just like the giant tank, it was pure, again, synergy. Yeah. That's the key.
Yeah.
That's the key for the great tag teams, that they're able to play, that there's enough of a difference, or not the same. Even Matt and Jeff are kind of different. But to play it off each other and to bring it and make it something interesting for the crowd, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a two-way tie for third, a clear second, and a clear first place. I disagree with this list, but
I see the first one already, I think.
So our tie for third, Edge and Christian and the Hart Foundation. And Dempsey, I'm going to commend you on this. Jake the Snake was a far different type of promo, where everyone else was like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat your ass, brother. Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna smash you and kick your ass. Tell him, Hawk. Well, we're gonna smash you." And then you had Jake Roberts. Come closer. I'm going to talk to you about our match, because I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to look into your soul and see how you really feel when you're confronted with fear. Just completely different.
It was a sociopath.
My work. It was wonderful. So our number two in second place, is the Dudley Boys. And number 1 is the Hardys.
Yeah.
Is the Hardy Boys. So yeah. So we're gonna add that to our list. And next week we're going to do our last 2 top 5s for the next 2 weeks, and then our final week we're just gonna go over the year of 2024. Next week, top 5 worst WrestleManias.
Ooh. Okay.
There are a few of those. So, Mr. Brad Duke Devil 95, please tell us what you are up to.
This week I'm up to making turkey. That's going to be it tomorrow night. Normally I'm on Static 2020's weekend pregame, but we're all taking the time off because we'll all be having turkey. But I do have 3 videos just waiting to be edited. I have 2 Doctor Who videos and 1 Star Trek video just waiting to be edited. I just haven't had the time. So hopefully I get around to that this weekend. Otherwise, I'll probably be back here next Wednesday, barring unforeseen circumstances. And I don't think I'm appearing anywhere before then. But yeah, hopefully I've got some stuff out this weekend.
All righty. And Mr. LeftEyeEgo, please let us know what you are up to.
So my latest video, top 5 reasons that Ryan Gosling should be the next Black Panther, is out. And it is absolute fire, guys. You should really check it out. It's really making the waves on social media.
I'm sure it is.
Yes, yeah. I mean, again, it all stems
What a racist.
Hey, even people that went in and said, you know what? You're right. Cast the man. That's it. All I said is Black Panther 3, White Boy Summer in Wakanda. All right. That should be a thing. All right. Otherwise, my wife and I, Shira, will be taking the day tomorrow for Thanksgiving. But not this coming Sunday. The Sunday after, we will be doing our Ordinary Gains, episode 47, I believe. And I think that at some point I'll be on with Roman next Thursday at around 7 p.m. But yeah, definitely check out 5 reasons Ryan Gosling should be the next Black Panther. It's awesome.
I like it. And for myself, for tomorrow, Turkey Day, I'm not doing anything. Literally, I'm doing nothing tomorrow, as little as possible, and I love it. You can catch me back here with these lovely gentlemen. I will also be on with Roman next week. I believe we're doing V for Vendetta.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, so it's a wonderful, happy film.
About modern England.
Basically, yes. Basically. All righty. So until then, folks, and again, tune in next week as we will be doing a review of Survivor Series, going over the top 5 worst WrestleManias of all time and whatever creeps into my devious little mind. So until then, folks, have a happy Thanksgiving. Matt, again, thoughts are with you. Go check out everyone's channels and their socials down in the description. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great time. Keep smiling. Keep having fun. And toodles.
And here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Ah!